Money ain't a thing. Money ain't a thing.
Money in the bank. Money in the bank.
We can talk, but money talk, so talk more.
Ash cash show, ash cash show, the ash cash show, ash cash show, the ash cash show, ash cash show, the ash cash show, ash cash show, ash cash show, the ash cash show, ash cash show, the ash cash show, ash cash show.
Baby, I got your money.
You're now tuned into the financial motivator himself, Ash Cash, Mr. Mind Right, Money Right. Money right, money right.
Welcome to the Ash Cash Show every Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Make sure you go to the ashcashshow.com, subscribe to the podcast, go to ashcashtv.com, subscribe to the YouTube channel. If y'all didn't catch last night's episode of Inside the Vault featuring Van Taylor and Mike Barron, make sure y'all check it out. Man, so I want to talk about taking a break, but really, it's about discernment, right? It's about discernment. Ken, what up? A lot of times, we just keep going and going and going and don't realize, right? We don't realize when it's time. Dave, what up? A lot of times we just keep going and going and going, and we don't realize when it's time to recharge. You know what I'm saying? When it's time to recharge, when it's time to say, "All right, y'all, let me slow down a little bit." I'll give you a quick story. And so normally, right, anytime I drive, right, facts. Likewise, Dave. Looking forward to seeing you, my brother. Anytime I drive and the car, says low gas or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like I full up immediately. You know what I'm saying? Like I try to not let it get to low gas. And I fill up the car immediately. You know what I'm saying? And so yesterday, I went to go pick up my kids from school. Picked up my daughter. And my car said low gas, right? And so I was like, you know what? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was ripping and running. I was like, yo, I need some rest. Like I was feeling tired yesterday, right? I was feeling tired. So I'm like, I need some rest. So I'm ripping and running. So I want to say it got down to like, how I tell you how much miles left. I think after like 30 miles, you don't see it no more. Like it tells you 30, and then after 30, you don't see it no more. So, got to 30. I'm like, I got enough, I'm calculating. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm calculating. Mac Don, what up? I'm calculating. I'm like, yo, I got enough time. I got, I got enough time. It's less than 30, blah, blah. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go, right? I'm going to go drop my kids off. I'm going to go, drop my, pick them up, drop them off at home. And then my intention was to go out and get gas. But I was like, whatever. So now the gas is low, right? The gas is low. And so, again, wake up this morning to drop my daughter off at school. And I totally forgot to put gas in the car. You know what I'm saying? Mac Don, appreciate the badge love, brother. I totally forgot to put gas in the car, right? And so now, right, now I'm driving, right? Now I'm driving, and I don't know. I didn't have enough gas to get to my destination, right? And so thank God, right? Thank God, my daughter remembers, and she tells me, "Hey, Dad, you gotta stop and get gas," right? And so here's the thing, and I'm not saying this to stunt, right? I'm not saying this to stunt, but I drive a 6-figure car. You know what I'm saying? Like my car costs 6 figures, right? You know what I mean? So I drive a 6-figure car, right? And so it's a you know what I'm saying? Like, they in my world, right? In my world, they call it like the private jet on wheels. Like it's nice, like it's it's a nice car. You know what I'm saying? Like gets a lot of attention. You know what I mean? Gets a lot of attention. as I roll down the street, especially at night, because the lights. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? The it's nice. It's nice, right? But think about this. Regardless of how much I paid for the car, regardless of how nice it is, regardless of all of the features, right? Like all of the features that it got, how you feel when you get inside, and all the things. If I didn't stop, right? If I didn't stop to gas up that car, I'd have been dead on the highway, right? It have stopped on the highway, and I would have not been able to get my daughter to school on time. I would have to call emergency roadway or whoever to come, to come gas me up, right? Right? I would have had to call whoever to come gas me up in order to get this 6-figure car moving, right? And so what is my point? My point is a lot of us are moving in this faction, right? A lot of us are moving in this way. A lot of us have confidence in who we are. A lot of us know our value. A lot of us appreciate, all of the features, all of the benefits, all of what we have to offer. But we keep moving, right? We keep moving without putting gas in our car. We keep moving nonstop, and we keep, trying to get to our destination, right? And a lot of us are trying to get to our destination fast. So not only are we moving, but we move like we got the pedal to the metal, right? We got the pedal to the metal. We got our foot on the gas. We going crazy. We trying to get to the next level. But as we trying to get to the next level, right? As we trying to get to the next level, we are not putting gas in our car, right? And a lot of us, like me, are so focused on other things that we don't even notice that we on E. Right? I didn't even notice I was on E. I got in that car, I put in my destination, and I got on the road. Right? I got on the road. I looked at the time. I said, I bet. You know what I'm saying? My mom was so preoccupied. I was like, I bet. I'm gonna get in this car. We're gonna get to the school by this time. And then once I drop you off at the school, I get back home by this time. So I could do the show. Right? So I'm so preoccupied, right? I'm so preoccupied by the future, right? I'm so preoccupied by the future. What time am I going to get to my destination, right? Then when I get to my destination, what time am I going to get back home, right? I'm so preoccupied with the future that I have not, right? I didn't even focus on now. I didn't even focus on now. I didn't focus on right now. To get to A to B, bro, you gotta stop, man. Hey, yo, to get to A to B, you don't even got enough in you to get to A to B. Right? Good news says, yo, the irony, my truck's saying get gas as we speak. Look, salute to my guy Green, man, right? And so we're not even focused on the power of now. Right? We're not focused on I wasn't present. Right? I wasn't present in the now. I was so in the future. Right? I was so in the future that I wasn't able to see and recognize that I needed gas. Right? And so I need everybody, right? Take a break. And what does that mean? That means I need you to start focusing on like what's happening right now, right? What's happening now? Are you aware, right? Marcia, thank you for the badge love. Are you aware, right? Let's tip what up, right? Are you aware? Here, T89 said, I just ran out of gas yesterday. We're like robots sometimes. Facts. Chris, appreciate the badge love. Right? And so are we staying aware of our surroundings? Are we staying aware of our energy? Miss Edith, top of the morning, right? Are we staying aware of our surroundings? Are we staying aware of our energy?
Today we're going to do our book review on The Power of Now.
The Power of Now.
Tolle. The concepts in this book can come across as very simple, but don't let that trick you into dismissing them without any contemplation. These concepts, although simple, are profound.
Pay attention.
With that said, keep an open mind going into this. You may get an initial reaction to resist what the book teaches, but just put your opinions and judgments to the side for a few minutes and consider the possibilities. The three primary concepts I want to focus on are as follows. 1, you are not your mind.
You are not your mind.
2, the present moment is all we ever have.
The present moment is all you ever
3,
have.
acceptance of what is. There are many other lessons in the book, but I want to focus on these for now, just to keep it simple. The Power of Now, Lesson 1, you are not your mind. You are not your thoughts. Quite a bold statement, I know. See, the problem of humanity is deeply rooted in the mind itself. The mind is an incredibly useful tool, but we have become identified with it. The tool, as they say, has taken over the master. We believe that the mind and its constant stream of thoughts is who we are, but we are much more than that. I'm sure by now you've noticed that your mind is constantly chatting away. The voice in your head speculates, complains, judges, compares, and so on. We habitually think and worry about the future, and if we're not doing that, then we're replaying the past events in our mind. Our thoughts, our mental dialogues are compulsive. They have taken most of us over. And the insane thing is we don't even realize it. Most of us are on autopilot. Most of us just go through life chatting to ourselves incessantly and letting our conditioned mind run our lives. Early in the book, Eckhart asks the reader, can you be free of your mind whenever you want to? Have you found the off button? Can you stop the stream of thoughts and just be? If the answer is no, then you're unconsciously identified with the mind. It's using you, and you probably don't even realize it. There is much more to you than just that stream of thoughts. If you're hearing this for the first time, you may be confused. You may say, well, if I'm not my thoughts, then what am I? That's a great question, and in my opinion, asking what am I is one of the most important questions you can ask yourself. That is the beginning of self-inquiry, awareness, mindfulness, or whatever you want to call it. So how do you get closer to realizing what you truly are? It all starts with awareness. You start by listening to the voice in your head as often as you can. Instead of being consumed or identified with your thoughts, you take a step back and just observe them. You try to create a sort of separation from yourself and your thoughts. It's super easy to get wrapped up in the stream of thoughts your mind is constantly coming up with. But just try your best to catch yourself in the stream of thought and just observe what's going on. Make a game of it like you're pretending to watch something in a lab. Observe its reactions, actions, thoughts, and so on. After you've done this for a while, ask yourself if you notice any repetitive thought patterns. Be there as the witnessing presence of your thoughts and do so without judgment. Listen impartially throughout the day and take note of what your mind is doing. Once you start to get a glimpse that you are not the thinker, you're able to watch the thinker in your mind more objectively. When you observe your thoughts, you'll see that there's a higher level of consciousness at play here. You are that higher level of consciousness. Consider this. If you're observing your thoughts, can you be your thoughts? The answer is no. You're actually much more than thought. You are beyond thought. Over time, and as you become better at observing your thoughts, you'll feel a deeper presence behind the thought. When that happens, the thought loses its power over you because you have disidentified from the thought stream. You have disidentified from the mind. Now, if you keep this practice up for long enough, eventually you'll experience a gap between thoughts known as no mind. The gaps will be short at first, but they will get longer. The no mind gap is not some trance-like state. It's quite the opposite. You're more aware, awake, alert, and fully present in this state. Another way to get into the state of no mind is to focus your attention in the now. Become intensely conscious of the moment you're in. This draws your attention away from the mind and into the now. You are alert and aware, but you're not thinking. You can do this at any time throughout the day. If you're waiting in line or at a stoplight, become intensely aware of the moment you're in. Let go of thought and see things without the filter of your mind. Look at things without labeling or judging them. It's very challenging at first, but don't give up. Keep doing this and you'll eventually get a glimpse of no mind. This can be a very confusing concept if you've never heard it before, so let's hit on a couple of Eckhart's quotes to really drive it home before moving to the next lesson. The single most vital step on your journey toward enlightenment is this: learn to disidentify from your mind. Every time you create a gap in the stream of the mind, the light of your consciousness grows stronger. The wider the time gap between perception and thought, the more depth there is to you as a human being, which is to say, the more conscious you are. The moment your attention turns to the now, you feel a presence, a stillness, a peace. You no longer depend on the future for fulfillment and satisfaction. You don't look to it for salvation. One day you may catch yourself smiling at the voice in your head as you would smile at the antics of a child. This means that you no longer take the content of your mind all that seriously, as your sense of self does not depend on it. For most of us, the mind has become out of balance. Our compulsive thinking is an addiction of sorts. The only way out is to realize the truth. You are not your mind.
You are not your mind.
The mind is simply a tool to be used when necessary. You can still pursue goals, but you will realize that there is nothing in the future that will save you or make you happy. You don't need something in the future. You're just happy being here and now.
You don't need nothing in the
That brings us
future,
to
y'all.
lesson 2. The present moment is all we will ever have.
The present moment is
So
all
live
you
in the
have.
here and now. As mentioned earlier, our minds like to be preoccupied thinking about the past or thinking about the future.
Right? Think about that. We spend so much time, right? We spend so much time thinking about the past or the future, right? We think about the past, what we could have done, should have done, how things used to be, how good they were, how bad they were, right? We spend so much time. Even thinking about the good sometimes can get you caught up, right? And then we think about the future. We think about where we could be, where we going, what's going to happen, what's this, what's that. And the truth is, now is the only time you ever had. How crazy is that? If y'all think about it, how crazy is that? How crazy is it that we lust after something that we will never experience? Don't miss that. We lust after something that we will never experience. There is no person who has ever experienced the past. Because that past that you're thinking of, that past that you are trying to remember, you did not experience it in the past, right? You actually experienced it in the now, right? My brother Caleb Silva is in the building. What's up, brother? Right? We experienced it, we experienced it in the past. We never, we experienced it in the now. Even the past that we're talking about, even the past that we're trying to reminisce on, we did not experience it in the past, right? As it was happening, we were experiencing it in the now, right? And so we've never experienced the past, right? We've never experienced the past. And even this future, right? Even this future that we're looking at, this future that we want to make better, this future that we hope comes, this future that we're gonna be the best, and we're gonna run these plays, and we're gonna make so much money, and all of the future stuff that we desire, right? If it comes, right? Because tomorrow's not promised to nobody. Everything in God's will. If the future even comes, you will experience it in the now. So let me understand this. Maybe I'm bugging. Right? Maybe I'm bugging. And y'all tell me if I'm bugging or not. Right? Maybe I'm bugging. So let me understand this. You've never experienced the past at all. Like nobody's ever experienced the past. And the future that you're looking at or you're eager to get to, you will never experience in the future. You'll always experience it in the now. And right now, you have now but you're focusing on two illusions. You're focusing on an illusion. You're focusing on an illusion. You're focusing on an illusion. I don't know. That don't make sense to me.
Are very rarely in the present moment. So our goal here is to be more grounded in the present moment. Yes, thinking and planning for the future is necessary in today's
Be
world.
grounded in the
but let's
present,
be honest,
y'all.
over 90% of our thinking is repetitive and useless, and it's often negative. Don't take my word for it. Listen to your mind for 10 minutes and see for yourself what it's saying. When I started doing this, I realized that my mind was just a rambling stream of random, mostly useless, repetitive thoughts, like a tape that was on repeat. Now, if you're offended by this, thinking, well, I'm not like that, well, that's just your ego talking. Your ego is the one getting offended. As you are not your thoughts, you are not your ego either. Tolle tells us that the only thing that is ultimately real about your journey is the step you are taking at this moment. You may have an outer purpose and outer goals, but they should not take up so much of your attention that they become more important than the step you are taking now. Now is all there is. Remember, the mind is always trying to escape the now since it has no power here. The mind needs the past and the future, memory and anticipation to exist. It hides from the present. It wants to live in the past and create a story for itself, or it wants to look to the future towards some kind of fulfillment. As Tolle says, time and mind are inseparable. If you take away time by focusing on the now, the mind falls to the background. Observe how your mind habitually escapes to the past and the future. The moment you realize you're not present, you become present. When you observe it, you're not trapped in it anymore. Be what Eckhart refers to as the silent watcher.
Be the silent
the more
watcher.
you're focused on time, past and future, the more you miss the now. Another great point here is that you can always handle the present moment. You can always cope with the now. Problems arise when you get wrapped up in the what ifs and I should haves. Usually everything is fine in the present moment and you can handle whatever it is that comes your way as it happens. But when you get so wrapped up in the future and start worrying about tomorrow or a week from now, that's when stress arises, and that's exactly where worry and anxiety come from. Ask yourself, what is missing in this moment? Really contemplate that one. The answer is nothing. All these wants, desires, and regrets come from the mind's obsession of the past and future. You can't cope with the future because it is a mind projection. It's not real. Is there ever any other time except the moment you're in? No. Even when you think of the past and the future,
is there any other time than the moment that you're in?
If the present moment is all we ever have, shouldn't we be fully present in the moment we're in? We should make that the focus of our daily lives. Sure, you can go back to the past or plan for the future when you need to, but your primary focus should be on the now. If not now, when? As Eckhart states, have you ever experienced, done, thought, or felt anything outside the now? Do you think you ever will? Is it possible for anything to happen or be outside the now? The answer is obvious, is it not? Nothing ever happened in the past, and nothing will ever happen in the future. It happens in the now. A memory is just a trace from a former now that you are recalling in the now. Do you have any problems in the present moment? Not tomorrow or in 30 minutes, but right now. Let's once again hit on some quotes from The Power of Now before moving to the final lesson. Use your senses fully. Be where you are, look around, just look, don't interpret. See the lights, shapes, colors, textures. Be aware of the silent presence of each thing. Be aware of the space that allows everything to be. If you set yourself a goal and work toward it, you are using clock time. You are aware of where you want to go, but you honor and give your fullest attention to the step that you're taking at this moment. Usually the future is a replica of the past. Superficial changes are possible, but real transformation is rare and depends upon whether you become present enough to dissolve the past by accessing the power of now. How does your mind operate? Are you always trying to get somewhere other than where you are? Are your actions a means to an end? Is fulfillment always just around the corner or confined to short-lived pleasures, such as sex, food, drink, drugs, or thrills and excitement? Are you always focused on becoming, achieving, and attaining? Do you believe that if you acquire more things, you'll become more fulfilled, good enough, or psychologically complete? Only the present can free you from the past. And finally, the power of now, lesson 3, acceptance of what is. So while you're being grounded in the moment you're in, you also want to be completely acceptant of it. You don't want to allow any resistance to come in. You may think that the situation creates the
Stop
suffering,
resisting,
but
y'all.
that's not so. Your resistance is.
Stop resisting, y'all.
Accept the moment as it is now.
Accept it like it is
When you
now.
resist what is, you create pain for yourself.
Stop
Between what
resisting.
is and what your
Accept what is
expectations
now.
are, there is a gap, and that's where resistance lies. Again, the first step is awareness. Observe how your mind labels, judges, and creates resistance to what is. Over time, this will get easier to do, and you'll become somewhat objective of the mind's thoughts, and they won't have such a firm grip over you. You can then allow the present moment to be. Work with it and not against it. Accept it as it is and then act. No one is saying that you have to accept a crappy situation and do nothing about it. Remember, it's still okay to say no to people or to walk away from a situation. But now let it be a non-reactive no. Not from reaction, but from insight. Accept the moment as it is, as if you had chosen it, and then do something about it if needed. Eckhart calls this surrendering to the now.
Surrender to the now, y'all.
Surrender is the
Surrender.
letting go of mental, emotional resistance to
Yep.
what is. And I must stress this point. This does not mean giving
My
up
brother
or being
Darius
complacent.
Daniels, salute, brother.
As Eckhart Tolle stated, true surrender does not mean to passively put up with whatever situation you find yourself in and do nothing about it. Nor does it mean to cease making plans or initiating positive action. Surrendering is yielding to rather than opposing the flow of life.
Right? Let
The
it
only place where
flow.
you can experience the flow of life is the now.
Experience the flow of life
So
now.
to surrender is to accept the present moment unconditionally and without reservation. When you
Look,
acknowledge
surrender means accept the present moment, right? You only have now. You only have this very moment. You do not have any other moment, right? And so accept this very moment and let it flow, right? Let it flow. Let it flow. Allow yourself to live. Allow yourself to be present, right? Anything that you're fearing in the future is an illusion. It's a lie, right? If fear means clear and present danger. And so if you're clear and present danger right now, then you got to do what you got to do. Other than that, you shouldn't be thinking about the consequences of anything that's in the future. What can you do right now? Who can you be right now? Right? Enjoy the moment now, because that's the only time that you can experience, right? It's time to surrender. Surrender to the now.
that there is resistance, you're making
Don't
resistance
resist.
conscious. You're no longer coming from reaction and resistance. Once you acknowledge it, ask if there's anything you do to change, improve, or remove yourself from the situation, and then take action on the one thing you can do in the now. Not the other 100 things that you may or may not do in the future, but what you can do right now.
What can you do right now?
Tolle also states, the external conditions that were being resisted also tend to shift or dissolve quickly through surrender. It's a powerful transformation of situations and people. If conditions do not shift immediately, your acceptance of the now enables you to rise above them. Either way,
That's what
you
we're
are
doing.
free.
That's how we
And
we
if you
can't
cannot
take a break
surrender,
because
take
we're
action
holding on.
immediately. Speak up or do something to bring about a change in a situation, or remove yourself from it. Take
Faith erased and
responsibility for
removed.
your
I
life.
love that.
Eckhart states, surrender does not transform what is,
Yep.
at least not directly. Surrender transforms you.
Whoa, surrender. Oh, don't miss that bar. Surrender doesn't change what is, right? Surrender changes you. Don't miss that bar, right? A lot of times it's not what happens to us, it's how we view it. It's our perception. It is our perception, right? It is our perception of what happens. It is our perception of what happens. It's not what happens. So when you surrender, when you say, yo, it is what it is, right? It doesn't change what is. Surrender, it transfers you, right? When you surrender, it is your perception of what's going on.
When you're transformed, your whole world is
Man.
transformed because the world is only a reflection.
Man,
Life is like a mirror. If you saw something in the mirror you didn't like, Would you attack it? Of course not, because you would be attacking yourself. Become friendly with it and it becomes friendly towards you. There are no problems, only situations, to be dealt with now or to be left alone and accepted as part of the isness of the present moment until they change or can be dealt with. So see if you can catch yourself complaining, either through speech or thought. When you're complaining, you are not accepting what is. You make yourself into
When
a
you're
victim.
complaining, you're not accepting
Let's
what
hit on
is.
some final quotes from the book before summarizing and wrapping this up. It is not the overall situation that you need to accept when you surrender, but just the tiny segment called now.
Now.
Inner resistance cuts you off from other people, from yourself, from the world around you. It strengthens the feeling of separateness on which the ego depends on for its survival. Surrender will move you closer to people. Through surrender, you'll accept what is, and that means accepting people as they are. You won't judge, criticize, reject, label, or attempt to change people. When you accept resentment, moodiness, anger, and so on, you're no longer forced to act them out blindly, and you're less likely to project them onto others. If you get the inside right, the outside will fall into place.
Whoa! Don't miss that. Don't miss that. If you get the inside right, the outside will fall in place. Hold on. Chill. If you get the inside right, if you change the perception, if you let go, if you focus on the now, you stop complaining, you accept what is right now, and you focus what you, the power which is within. When you get the inside right, the out. Chill, man.
Reality is within.
Jeez.
Secondary reality without.
Jeez.
If
Charlie,
there's
what up?
nothing you can do to change your here and now,
Jeez.
and you can't remove yourself from the situation, then accept your here and now totally by dropping all inner resistance. The false, unhappy self that loves feeling miserable, resentful, or sorry for itself can no longer survive. This is called surrender. Surrender is not weakness.
Surrender is not weakness.
That's my quick breakdown of The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Let's summarize quickly.
Peace,
One,
peace,
you are
King
not your
Hollis
thoughts.
in the building.
Observe
Salute,
your
King.
thoughts to see them for what they truly are. 2, the present moment is all we ever have, so be more grounded in it. And 3, surrender to
Copy
the
that.
now.
We'll tap
accept
in.
what
Let's
is.
tap in.
Why fight what is already in existence? Instead, whatever it is, allow it to be and surrender to it.
Allow it to be, y'all.
These 3 lessons get deeper and deeper the longer you practice them. So if this piqued your interest, spend some time on them and go pick up a copy of this book. It's an absolute masterpiece.
The
You are
business
listening to
bully.
MindRightRadio.com, the only place to get inspiration and motivation all day, every day.
All right. There's only one place to go after this, though, y'all. There's only one place to go. Where I'm going next. For my oh look, 111 again. Hey yo, where am I going next? There's only one place to go. Let me see if y'all know me. Where I'm going next. There's only one place to go. There's only one place. Let's go, Joyce. There's only one place to go. It's only one place to go. So only one place to go.
People doubt that your thoughts create reality for you. It doesn't if you're just sitting around thinking, I want something. It doesn't. But there's no question if the energy and the vibrational frequency is correct.
It's correct.
Is in sync.
Yep.
With what is to come your way.
Yep.
That there is a space that you create.
There's a
that
space
allows
you
that
create.
to happen. God can dream a bigger
God
dream.
can dream a bigger dream
for you than you could ever dream.
Than you could ever dream for yourself.
When you've worked as hard.
When you work as
and
hard.
done as much and strive.
And strive.
And tried.
And tried.
And given.
And given.
And pled.
And pled.
And bargained.
Bargained.
And hoped.
And hoped.
Surrender.
Surrender, y'all.
When you have done all that you can do.
When you have done all you can do.
For you to do. Give it up.
Give it up.
Give it up to that thing that
Give
is
it up to
bigger
that
than
thing.
yourself. And let it then
and let it
become.
Let's go.
Love.
I get goosebumps when I listen to this joint. Hey, Hold on.
Liquid means
Hold on, one more
rewind.
time, Oprah.
Gunshot means
One more time.
You requested it, so liquid means rewind.
One more time.
Gunshot means fall.
Hey, yo, some of y'all get
You
y'all
requested
tissue.
it, so we
Cause
rewind.
people start to
Reggae
tear in this one.
combined.
We gonna talk to your soul. Get your tissues out. Get your tissues out.
You requested
Hold
it,
on.
so we rewind.
Hold on.
Motivation combined. That's inspiration
On another level.
Mind Right Radio. Elevate your mind.
Well, and elevate your mind, you elevate your life.
That your thoughts create
Talk to him,
reality for you.
Let's go.
It doesn't if you're just sitting around thinking I want something. It doesn't. But there's no question if the energy and the vibrational frequency is correct, is in sync with what is to come your way.
Yep.
That there is a space that you create that allows that to happen.
Yep.
God can dream a bigger dream for me, for you, than you could ever dream for yourself. When you've worked as hard and done as much and strived and tried and given and pled and bargained and hoped, surrender.
Okay.
When you have done all that you can do, and there's nothing left for you to do, give it up. Give it up to that thing that is bigger than yourself. And let it then become a part of the flow.
Sunday morning, God has a jazz brunch for souls becoming human.
Yeah.
And they go to that brunch, and God reads out all of the life assignments of humans that are going to be born on earth. And the souls pick an assignment, meaning they pick a life that they're going to come into body to manifest. And God, when he has a really hard task, he winks over at you and says, you know, like, this is the assignment I want you to do.
The assignment.
So the soul that was going to become Rhonda Harris was sitting there at the jazz brunch. And God winked at her. And then he brought her up and he told her, you're going to be born a black female in a time when being black or female isn't really easy. You're going to be born to an alcoholic mother and a womanizing father. You're going to be born in a situation where you may be physically abused. God tells us, he tells us, we get the life assignment. And he says, this is what I want you to know. I want you to know that you've got to hold on to me.
You got to hold on.
I want you to know that you've got to learn forgiveness.
Learn forgiveness.
And when I got abandoned and treated badly in home, I didn't remember that I could always reach out to God. But at some point, you know this, those things that God whispered in your ear kick in.
Yeah.
And you get to choose.
Yeah.
Either I'm going to do this as hard as it is, or I'm going to do that. I'm going to pick up a needle. I'm going to stay ignorant. I'm going to drink. I'm going to cuss. I'm going to stay angry. Or I'm going to say, Father, into thy hands.
Into thy hands.
Yeah. My soul, my life. And that's what I did.
It is understanding the surrender. And that really is all there needs to be.
I surrender.
Let's go. Some of y'all trying to let go, y'all. Y'all holding on too tight. You can't receive the blessings if you're holding on too tight. You're holding on too tight. You gotta receive. You can't be you can't be grasping on too long. You gotta be a good receiver, y'all. It's time to let go. You gotta surrender. Yup. Surrender.
Someone who trusts lets things happen.
Yep.
And there's such a subtle, you use that word and it's right, there's a subtle edge in the difference of that, because when you want things and you're just going to apply yourself diligently, we've watched you ripping through these processes. You're just eating this up. You're going to get yourself tuned up as fast as you can, but there's something counterproductive in that, and what it is what your wonderful question came up with toward the end of your comments, which is you want to understand how to trust, and here's the way we would go about that.
Yep.
Feel the difference between someone who is, this is not for you, it's an example for you, of someone who is seeking a healing,
Yep.
which is absolutely upstream, and allowing wellness.
Oh, don't miss that.
You feel?
Are you seeking a healing, or are you allowing wellness? Sheesh. There's a big difference, y'all. Are you seeking a healing? Right? If you're seeking a healing, it's almost like you're confirming that you're sick. Don't miss that. When you're seeking a healing, it's like a confirmation. Just what up? Right? When you're seeking a healing, it's like a confirmation. You're confirming that you are sick, right? And so don't even confirm that. Yo, just allow wellness. Chill. I don't think, yo.
Can you feel the difference?
Jeez.
So many people are looking for the result.
They're looking
and
for the result.
So pointed upstream. They're so intense about it and so determined about it. And we want to say, you don't have to work hard.
You don't have to work hard.
You've already done your work.
Abundance is your birthright. You've done your work already.
And Source has already done the work.
You've done the work already.
Lining things up, and Law of Attraction is
everything's lined up already for you. You've already done the work.
Your work, if there is any,
your
is
work
to trust the stream.
Just trust the stream.
To trust.
That's it.
If you
wait, hold on, because I don't want you to miss this. Right? You did the work already. You did the work already. You trying so hard, right? You're trying so hard when you already did the work. You already did the work, right? What the scripture said, I came to give you life more abundantly, though. It's already done, right? It's already done. And so if there's any work for you to do, right? If there's any work for you to do, the work that you need to do is to trust. Trust what? Right? Trust what? Trust the source. Brooklyn May, appreciate the badge love. Trust the source. Right? Trust the promise that was made to you. And think about it. Think about it. Right? That's the problem. Right? That's me trying so hard. That's the problem. Do we understand that trying hard is what the problem is? I want us to understand, like I need you to say I understand in the chat. Because you are trying hard, that is actually the problem. That's the problem in itself. We're not trusting the source. We're not surrendering, right? Think about this. When a baby is born, you don't have nothing to do with the development of the baby. Like the conception. Like when a baby is born, in most cases, everything is so perfect that we don't have to make any instructions, right? We don't have to make any instructions to make sure, look, make sure this baby got 10 fingers, 10 feet, 10 toes, 2 feet, no, right? It's already built in. That's built in, right? That's built in. It's perfectly built in, right? In most cases, it's perfectly built in that everything's going to grow the way it needs to grow. The heart's going to grow. The the brain, the fingers, everything, right? We trust that process, right? We trust that process and then get out into the world and say, nah, God, I got this. No, like what are you trying? What are you trying to do? Just go with the flow. Just go with it.
You were to let go of those orders.
Let go.
That you've done enough in the wheel of life to put it in vibrational escrow. And the source is reliable enough to bring you in this massively moving stream toward what you want.
Trust the process.
So it's not necessarily, not even a trusting in your ability. It's a bigger trust.
It's not even trusting in your ability.
Faith in the stream. And what we have given you as a result of what you've been reading, we've given you a framework in which you now understand the current of the universe, you see. And so that's what we want you to practice your trust in. We want you to say to yourself, well, the stream is flowing and I can paddle upstream if I want to, and I can tell I am because I don't feel so good. This tension tells me that I'm doing that. And if you will just work a little bit on the sensation of letting go of the oars.
Let go.
In other words, it's not about making it happen. It's not about
making it happen.
It's really about, and here it is, making peace with where you are.
Ooh, wait, hold on. Chill. Don't miss that. Yo, it's not about making it happen. It's about making peace with where you are. What we talked about 2 seconds ago, the power of now. Now is the only time that you have available, right? Now is the only time you have available. 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 Put it in the chat. Now is the only time I have available. 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 I don't have nothing else available. Now is the only time I have available. Right? Now is the only time I have available. So if now is the only time I have available, right? How do you trust? You got to make peace with where you are. You got to make peace with where you are. Make peace with it. Like, yo, I'm here. I'm here right now. I'm here. I'm in peace with where I'm at. Right? Make peace with where you are. Make peace with where you are.
So understand the current of the universe, you see. And so that's what we want you to practice your trust in. We
practice your trust.
To say to yourself, well, the stream is flowing and I can paddle upstream if I want to, and I can tell I am because I don't feel so good. This tension tells me that I'm doing that. And if you will just work a little bit on the sensation of letting go of the oars.
Yep.
In other words, it's not about making it happen. It's not about being different than you are. It's really about, and here it is, making peace with where you are.
Making peace with where you are.
So, in very short terms, we would say to you, if we were to give you an unfair label that accurately depicts the energy of your being, you try too hard.
Trying too hard.
You work too hard at things.
Working too hard.
It comes from wanting to please others. It comes from having a lot of responsibility. It comes from a lot of people counting on you. It comes from all of those things, but it doesn't serve you.
It doesn't serve you.
And it doesn't serve anyone.
It doesn't serve you, y'all. This is called Surrender. All right, Radio. AbundanceCommunity.org.
Surrender for me, and I experienced a lot of surrender during my cancer journey, but surrender it's like a fish finding the current and going with it.
Yeah.
That's surrender.
Oh my God, I love that so much. You know what? Because I believe that everybody in life has their own current and their own flow. Your job in life is to figure out what that is, what lane that is, and how you line up with the center and the universe and everything around you and follow that flow. Your job in life is is to try to not be the salmon swimming upstream all the time, but to find your flow.
Acceptance, though, I would say, is when you're finding that flow and you run into driftwood or a stone or get caught in the bank, is accepting that and the larger situation. So, I
It's
think
so hard to know when to accept and when do I fight to get out.
Well, accept to me doesn't mean that we stop evolving.
Yeah.
It's a spiritual perception.
Yeah. That acceptance before, because we're all in difficult circumstances at some point in our lives. And you have to be able to acknowledge and accept where you are before you can figure out how to get out from where you are.
That's his bar.
Yes, and we're so attached to the identities, relationships, and dreams
That's his bar.
that have brought us this far. And they're dear. But like a cocoon, when a butterfly emerges, the cocoon has served its purpose. It doesn't mean it's false. It means it served its purpose. And our dreams...
And everything in life serves its purpose.
Our dreams, our identities, our ambitions, our relationships, they often are cocoons that lead us to the next.
All right, y'all. Surrender, y'all. Appreciate y'all standing now. Standing now, y'all. Okay. All right, y'all. Whew. I feel full.
Mind Right
I feel
Radio,
full.
your number one source for mind
I
elevation.
feel full. I feel full. I think I'm good. I feel full. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Y'all have a great weekend. Make sure y'all look. I got a lot of things going on. Like, right? Number one, look. Number one, make sure y'all go PathToProsperityShow.com. Right? We just dropped the Path to Prosperity podcast. I need you to watch that. Number one. Number two, I need you to go to InsideTheVaultShow.com. Right? Watch Inside the Vault. We just dropped a dope episode with Van Taylor, Mike Barron. Number three, I need you to go to the Abundance Community, right? So go to abundancecommunity.org, sign up for our community where we're going to mastermind. You get access to all these tracks, everything. And then number four, just be you. Just go out there, be great, right? Go out there, be greatness on display. That's all I want. All I want for you, what I want for myself, I want for you. All I want for you is for you to be the greatest version of yourself. That's all. I don't want much. I don't want much. Everything that I need, I already have. You know what I'm saying? Everything that I already have.
Everything that I need, I already have. Everything that I have is all that I need. Anything I desire, I will receive because my reality is created by me. I am successful, I am peaceful, I am free, I am wise, I am potential energy, and like a phoenix I shall rise. I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am power, I am talent, I am mind, I am body, I am spirit, I am balance, I am enlightened, I am fearless, I am outside the realm of time. I am a part of the all and I am one with the divine. Energy, all around on the outside of the enemy. There is no hate in my heart. I even have love for my enemies. Everything that I need, I already have. Everything that I have is all that I need. Anything I desire, I will receive because my reality is created by me. I am successful, I am peaceful, I am free, I am wise, I am potential energy, and like a phoenix I shall rise. I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am power, I am mind, I am body, I am spirit, I am balance, I am enlightened, I am fearless, I am outside the realm of time. I am a part of the all and I am one with the divine. Energy, all around on the outside of the enemy. There is no hate in my heart. I even have love for my enemies. Energy.
All right, that's it, y'all. I appreciate y'all. I want you to be the greatest version of yourself, right? I want you to be the greatest version of yourself. I appreciate y'all. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go out there. Become greatness on display. G-O-D. Greatness on display. Right? That's all I want y'all to be. All I want you to be is greatness on display. Right? All I want you to be is greatness. Hold on.
Just catch me.
Hold on.
If God is the greatest.
If God is the greatest.
Right? If there's nothing bigger, there's nothing better. There's nothing better.
I'm sorry. I can't go. Hold on.
It stops there.
Hold on.
That we're made in the image and likeness of what? Of God. So let me see something. If God is the greatest.
God is the greatest.
And we, all of us, are made in the image and likeness of God. And what would that make us? Right?
I am greatness on display.
Right?
I am greatness on display.
Right?
I am greatness on display.
Right?
I am greatness on display. All right, y'all, let me get out of here. Get out of here. I'm gone this time. I'm gone.
I am greatness on display.
All right, I'm gone. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. All right. Peace, y'all. Have a great weekend, y'all.
I ain't talking about rich. I'm talking about wealth.
Money ain't a thing. Money ain't a thing.
Money in the bank. Money in the bank.
We can talk, but money talk, so talk more.
Ash cash show, ash cash show, the ash cash show, ash cash show, the ash cash show, ash cash show, the ash cash show, ash cash show, ash cash show, the ash cash show, ash cash show, the ash cash show, ash cash show.
Baby, I got your money.
You are now tuned in to the Ash Cash Show, your number one source for financial motivation. Get your mind and your money right.